Hope everybody likes my background, huh? My beautiful home. My beautiful, beautiful home in the background. Not. Not in this climate, no. Not in this world. Not reality. The reality, I'll show you what it is. This is a reality. This is where I really live. See? It's not as glamorous as the world should be, I guess. Joke. So I've been at work I work 5 days a week, so this is the first time I've had a real day off to do anything besides being at work all the time. So, anyways, yeah, we're dealing with the weather right now, all this other crazy shit. Southern California is supposed to have all this wind, I guess. Where I'm at, it's not as bad. Apparently, I guess we've been going through four more months of this crap, and it's still going. It's an ongoing thing. It's changing the climate because I've noticed a lot of moss growing on things, like this green moss growing on the pavement and stuff, and even in the windowsills and stuff, because it's so moldy and damp and wet everywhere. There's like nowhere that's really dry, that's not like soaking wet and moldy. There's that, right? For best performance, we recommend using green screen. So there's that. But I'm on my channel that's got a little less views. Let's just say that I'm on this one because my other one is it still gets views on my other videos, but I don't like to add too many videos onto that one. I try to keep them brief because you know why. Oh, now it's showing notification, right? That I'm on here. Took long enough, I guess. Because I don't know how many people subscribe to this channel, not many. Which is fine. Because I haven't been putting out much, as in videos. So, let's see. Let me go to the notifications, yeah. Let me go to the notifications, yeah. See, there's a stall. Let me go to the notifications, yeah. See, there's a stall. Let me go to the notifications, yeah. Let me turn that off. So yeah, look, breaking. Let me turn the volume down because I don't want to play someone else's video over my video. Oops, wrong button. I meant to hit the volume button, not the power button. Yeah, so, okay, what's the headline here? Breaking. Donald Trump arrest confirmed. Okay. What does that mean? I don't get it. Dang, so far Frank has sold me a rice cooker, a fryer, and now a new coffee pot. I'm grateful because I would have never known about the damage Box deals. Thank you, Frank. Oh, DeSantis. Yeah, DeSantis and Trump have been trashing on each other because they're going to be running against each other, and what they're going to do is divide the vote. That's if Trump is still eligible to be in the runnings after this. This is crazy. I guess they want to put a mark on his record so he can't be on the docket. Still raining, and like cats and dogs here is definitely a necessity. He's been arrested and probably won't be indicted. Oh, oh yeah, it's just a formality, huh? They're just doing the formality because they're going to stall it forever. Because there's not much time left till the 2024 thing uh, comes up. And we haven't heard from our governor here in my state, where you're at too, uh, about the disaster here. We haven't heard much from him. He did declare a state of emergency, but that was about as far as he really went with the whole dealing with the problem thing. It's mostly citizens helping citizens at this point, dig out the snow or clean up the mess from the flood and all that. There's really no assistance, if you know what I mean, from who's the main players, the ones who are making all the the hoo-has. They're the ones not involved. So it's actually the citizens are the ones who help clean up the mess. So uh, who knows? Maybe this will bring people closer together, having to clean up the disaster that's our state, you know. But we're not saving the water either, so there's that. And it's been proven. A lot of people have been saying it that the water is not being reserved in the reservoirs. They haven't built any new holding tanks or reservoirs to sustain all this rainwater. So when summer comes, it's not going to be good. There won't be any surplus. And what if it doesn't rain again like this for another 5, 6 years? Who knows? Then we're going to be still low on water. I don't get it. And they're like, oh, they're not going to build a desalination plant because it's too expensive and it's too time consuming and all that to take the salt out of the water. It's like, well, people can't get water. How are they supposed to get water? No, it's all hogwash and nonsense. Nothing will happen to Trump for Pete's sake. Bill Clinton paid off Paula Jones and nothing happened. Yeah, I think what it is that these politicians are all hypocrites, including the DA, the guy that's charging him. They're all hypocrites because they all have the same, basically, problems or backgrounds or whatever. If you looked at their backgrounds, they're all basically the same crap. It's all like a dog and pony show. And who knows who to trust at this point? Only one you can trust is God. You can't trust man to lead you spiritually or your soul. You can't look to man to do that. You can't look to men to do that. They're not going to do that. You have to look to God. That's why you got to stay close to God in the Bible, because that's all you got left in the end. All this other stuff it's going to fleet and go away. It's fleeting. Like Jesus said, things will rust and go away. But obviously his words never go away. But everything else is all crap. But yeah, it's retarded. If you look at Trump's Truth Social, it's just a bunch of mudslinging crap. It's the same crap he did to take Ted Cruz and him when they were battling it out, because they were the top contenders, him and Ted Cruz, and then he trashed Ted Cruz, and then Ted Cruz trashed him, and then Trump ended up getting a nomination and he got in. So that's what it is. He's trying to push DeSantis out. And DeSantis started it by trashing on Trump about the Stormy thing. And then Trump did his thing and wrote what he wrote. So they're just kind of throwing mud. That's what it is, mud. It's all competition mud. And old Billy Boy was a sitting president. Trump wasn't even running yet. Yeah, because he was still in Arkansas doing his thing, right? I know, because there's a lady on Twitter named Juanita Broderick. I've seen her. Or I'm following her on Twitter, Juanita Broderick, and she's very active on Twitter. So, yeah. And then the son of, who, Clinton, he's on Twitter too. He doesn't have that many followers because, he's just a regular guy, I guess. So, even though he is a Clinton, but his last name isn't Clinton, but he is Clinton's, one of his kids. So, yeah, there's that. It doesn't even matter what your last name is, because I have people in my family that have money, and they could give two rats' asses about me, and I live basically poverty or whatever, if you know what I mean. And they give two rats' asses about my poverty. You could be related to the richest person in the world, and they still won't help you, and they just roll in their money. Think about it. Um, President 44, right? His brother from that other country. He's poor as hell, and 44 don't help him out. He had to ask Dinesh D'Souza for a loan to help him out to pay for something that he needed money for. It's just really weird. And Dinesh D'Souza went to jail for a while or whatever for I don't remember what it was, campaign stuff or money donated to a candidate or something, I guess. So it's really weird. It's really strange. But I'm talking about so yeah, like you said, the Trump thing is it's just a formality. But it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Like 9 out of 10 of these uh, politicians are all have the same background as him. They all done the same crap. They all know each other from certain circles and all that. They know each other from Hollywood and you know what I mean, banquet dinners and stuff. They all know each other from charity stuff and all that, and the fancy hotels and all the resort areas and stuff like that. So they can't act like they're all like strangers, like they hate each other and shit. Because people with money all end up in the same places, the same circles. Like people that go on cruise ships every year, they always have money to do that shit, and they always see the same people every year, like the stinking Love Boat. It's like, oh, we always have money, so we're always on vacation. We're always here every year. We always do this crap every year. Oh, I'm so tired of Hawaii and shit. It's like, well, it must be nice to have money to keep traveling all the time. And it's weird to hear people go to Hawaii because I heard they said you can't even go to Hawaii without, you know what, without the CURE. So I don't know how people, and then all these people coming over from other countries, like you can't come here without, CURE. So it's really weird to hear that people coming over here. It's like they all had the, what's. But if you come over from the southern area, if you know what I'm saying, you don't have to have CURE at all, which doesn't make any sense. It's just, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But you know what? I stayed unemployed and I held out because I wasn't willing to do this. So I lost my job. And then right after I lost my job for not doing this, people got laid off because there wasn't enough work for people because of this stuff. Because people were afraid to go do stuff because of this, as in resort areas. So a lot of workers got laid off. They probably lived on their unemployment for a little bit, I guess. But I held out because I knew I wasn't going to do, the cure, because I knew that was going to be next. So I just stayed unemployed for over a year, and I waited out, and then applied for new jobs. And lo and behold, they weren't doing this anymore, and they weren't asking you to do the CURE. So I'm like, okay, then I'm game. I'm game. I'm back in the mix because that part's over. But if they try to pull that crap, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing the crap. So kiss my white butt, which is really white. Even though I do have a tiny bit of Native American, but most of it's just white Yankee shit, which isn't shit. It's stuff or material. But I'm not doing it. Oh yeah, the damn charger dilemma, right? Stinking batteries. Speaking of batteries, anything with a non-engine that's a battery is not a good thing. Get it? I can't get any specifics about what I'm talking about, but they'll give you a lot of cash for your gas-powered car in exchange for the POS. You know what I'm talking about? And I guarantee there's no refunds or replacements for that, especially your barbecued gonads. Get it? Because of it. I take my chances with the car that runs on a dead plant material. Get it? See, I can't get into any details because if I get into details, I get in trouble. But I'm on my alternative channel, so I mean, I'm worried about it, but I'm not worried about it because if they don't like freedom of speech, eventually they'll get after all of us, and basically, eventually, all of us won't be able to speak. So, might as well speak while you can, or forever hold your peace, right? So, I'm not holding my peace. That's why people don't like me, because I don't hold my peace. Because I don't go, well, we better go along and get along so everybody just gets along with each other. Yeah. Well, that's why there's all this weird stuff happening, because everybody went along, go along, get along, Joes. Everybody's names should all just been Joe because they went along, get along. Just a bunch of robots, I swear. I had a dream that there was a woman that was a zombie, and I've never owned a home before. And I had this opportunity in this dream to own a home, right? And the person that owned it wanted to buy me out because I had a stake in this home, right? Some kind of legal uh, stuff had happened, and I was able to have a say so in whether or not I get to own this house. And this woman that owned part of the you call that title. Her name was on the other part of the title. Uh, and my name was on there too for some reason in the dream. I don't know how I came up with the money to buy it, but me and her apparently had half and half of the title. And she said she was going to buy me out to get me to go away so she could keep the house or do what she wants with it because she didn't want to deal with me anymore. And she was like offering like 10,000, 15,000, or whatever. She wrote down a piece of paper and showed it to me. And I'm like, well, that's not very much money because that's like property. And I'm like, I'd rather just keep half of it and just fight with you over it, right? Because I don't mind living in the house. And anyways, I went outside to go take a look to see how much property there was. And there was like a nice piece of property and beautiful, whatever. It's like kind of overgrown or whatever, but it was still a nice place. And right when I was about to make the decision, like, screw you, I'm keeping my half of the property, right? I see this zombie woman coming through the backyard, and she looked like Meredith Baxter Burney with blonde hair, like shoulder length. And she was coming up closer, and I was like, oh my God, she looked like she was like a skeleton type, like she was like thin, really skinny, like a meth head or something. And then I go, hey, get out of here. I said, you can't come up here anymore. This is my property now. And she's like, just started growling at me. And I could see really close up what her mouth looked like until she started running up to me like really fast. And then her teeth were all brown and rotten, like kind of like a grave, like dirt. Like she had dirt all over her teeth from like being underground or something. And she was just growling at me. And then she like grabbed my arm and she was just growling. And I tried to go back inside the house with the side glass door. And anyways, I felt really scared. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to take the money. I'm not going to fight these uh, zombies that are coming through this backyard, because the zombies had literally cut like a deer trail, almost like a deer trail into the backyard where they were just coming in, and they would just come in all the time, tons of them just walking through. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that people are coming in here into the yard, into the property, and I don't want to fight people to keep them from coming on my property. So I basically took the deal, and that was the end of that dream. I was like, this sucks. I could never own a home, I guess. Every time I have a dream about owning a home, there's always a hole in the roof and there's like water coming in. So there's that. So I guess I'll never own anything, and then we're gonna build back better. Yeah, I never will go along, get along, because I work with people that said they wore the this, and it's like, yeah, I guess you did what you had to do, right? But I couldn't bring myself to do that. I mean, I could have done that, but I didn't. One place I got fired from, we yelled out the window. I said, "Put your this on, or you're all gonna get what, COV, right?" And we were just kidding around, but they were all freaked out and everything because they were wearing them outside, and they were eating out in the what do you call that canopy thing outside. And it's like, this is so retarded. You know what I mean? Sorry about the word retarded, but that was retarded to me. So it all started with one dishwasher uh, in the restaurant right next to the hotel I worked at. They said, "Oh, he, what, you know, he pushed up daisies," and it's like, now the rest of you have to suffer and have to go like this because he pushed up daisies. And it's like, for one person, the rest of us have to be punished. And I told him months before that, I said, I'm never going to do this. You're never going to make me do it. Even though they were constructing all that plexi stuff on the desk and stuff and getting ready to be sheep, I said, I'm not going to ever do it. And I warned them. And the day that they did that, said that everyone had to do this crap because they had that stupid meeting. I said no. And the boss told me, he said, put your card away and clock out, which meant I'm done. And I was like, wow, that fast? That easily, huh? No compromise. And that was the end of that son of a bitch. Sorry about my language. But that was the end of him. I didn't work for him anymore. I'm like, this is bullshit. This guy is nothing but a sheep. This guy, all he cares, his bottom line is money. He doesn't care about morality, or he doesn't care about his soul, I guess. All he cares about is money, is making money and complying and being a jerk. And he's going to be in for a big surprise when the, what collapses. The ones with the most money socked away are going to be the ones who are most upset. And those of us who live like church mice aren't going to be as upset because we don't got much. What am I going to lose? I don't have anything. And I already know how to live in a tent, and I already know how to live in the woods because I've already done it because I've been homeless. And springtime isn't too bad because when it does rain, it's not really cold. Okay? See, people with lots of money don't understand what that feels like because they've never had to struggle. They've never had to resort to living in dirt. And the place that I lived in dirt before is all flooded. So I couldn't go back there. I'd have to go to higher ground, but the higher ground has got snow all over it. So I have to wait till spring when the thaw comes if I was going to be homeless. So you have to do what you got to do. But rich people don't have the endurance like we do as poor people to adjust because we've already been through the BS. And I'm not going to cuss a lot because I think they said YouTube is like cracking down people who use foul language, I guess. So I'm going to try to reduce the foul and bring in the unfoul. So there's that, right? Yeah, so I have a day off today, and I don't know what to do with myself. And I kind of got worried when I saw the wind blowing, but it's not going to be as bad here in California, Northern California, I should say. But Southern California, I guess, where Disneyland is, I guess they had to shut down a couple rides because the wind was too windy. So they had to close the park down. And they said anyone that has tickets or whatever, their tickets are still good for tomorrow and next day and next day if they want to reuse them. So they are being kind of nice about it, I guess. So anyways, I don't want to run out of shit to say. Sorry, I'm not scripted really. I guess I'll go here. I'm not going to read any like major headlines because you know how it is, right? You don't read like the big headlines because that's misinforming people. You don't go to BitChute and read the headlines because those are no headlines. Yeah, this one I can't read. If you know what I'm talking about. Because I was telling you about my work and all that, and then the other stuff. Can't read updates. So if you go to BitChute, you'll see all kinds of stuff. Ooh, I like him. Cat turd. Now, where's Cat turd at? Oh, it's Cat turd replying to. Who's he replying to? Oh, okay. Here's the original tweet. John Cardillo. I'm still having trouble finding fault in anything Governor Ron DeSantis said today. He's the governor of Florida, not Trump's defense lawyer. There's no extradition fight, so there's nothing for him to do or involve himself in. It's immature and ignorant of the process to demand more. Cat Turd replied to John Cardillo and Governor DeSantis. Since I love President Trump and love DeSantis as my governor, and I've never disrespected either team, I'll tell you the part that bothers me. He said his main focus is fighting for we Floridians. With that being said, I spent a year working so hard, 24/7, campaigning for DeSantis so he could represent us for 4 more years. I did this out of love and never took a penny. If he abandons that oath after only a few months, especially after all that work we did to give him a 20-point landslide, honestly, how do you expect me to trust him going forward? Talk about a gut punch. Yeah, so Cat Turd doesn't like DeSantis attacking Trump. because he likes both Trump and DeSantis, and he doesn't want to have to choose between them because he lives in Florida and he likes DeSantis and most of his political views. Oh, John Cardello said the cat turd. I hear you, but I don't think any politician should be expected not to explore the opportunities in front of them if the timing is right. No, the timing is wrong because DeSantis is going to take away votes from Trump and it's going to divide the vote, which will make the DMs have an edge. So they want DeSantis and Trump fighting and competing against each other, which isn't good. Because the rest of the candidates are all milquetoast, the rest of the Republicans right now. Sorry, I hate to say that. That sounds mean, but they don't have the stamina or the fortitude to pull it off. There has to be somebody who's got guts. You can't just have somebody who's limp-wristed, or not limp-wristed, but not a very good spine. You know, they have to be able to take the heat. And if they can't, they're not going to make it. You know, they have to be able to deal with blackmail and stuff because that's going to come with it. And a lot of trashing and people putting hit pieces up about them online and stuff and on TV. They have to be able to withstand that type of attack and still be strong. Miss Wright said to John Cardello, Cat Turd, and Ron DeSantis, keyword, politician. We are sick of them. We want Americans who want to truly put country and citizens above their own ambitions. Ginger, 22 hours ago. The way I see it, DeSantis has a lot of time on his side. Trump doesn't. Yeah, it's just a bunch of back and forth. Just announced. Trending, just announced. Wonder what just announced, right? Oh, that's not just announced. Yeah, here's the J6 stuff. All these people are obsessed with January 6th. Stupid. I don't want to read this. Just people obsessed with going after people for January 6th. Real American. Breaking. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers just announced that he is joining Wisconsin Democrats in support of a new bill to repeal Wisconsin's 1849 era criminal abortion ban. The long-standing ban does not include exceptions in cases of rape and incest and was passed long before. Ugh. I don't like reading this stuff. Some guy from January 6th got 55 months in jail because they said he did some mischief on January 6th. It's just all nightmare here. The Diocese of Oakland just announced it is considered filing for bankruptcy in the face of more than 300 cases that get lawsuits. Oh. Look at this. It says, embarrassment. 72% of Americans disapprove of how congressional Republicans are doing their job. ABC News, IPSOS poll. Oh, yeah, let's see who did the poll, right? And 72% of the people Who said it were what type of party? I don't like reading this crap. See, this is nice of Elon. He still lets the NPCs still tweet. I guess they're still allowed to tweet their stuff. Cat turd again. Ew. There's a picture of dirty pipes in Jackson, Mississippi, and they're full of gunk. And this is delivering water, tap water. Ugh. City water, huh? That's why people drink so much bottled water. Hmm. Ew. It was blowing pretty good in Inland Empire of Southern California for a while, but it stopped and the rain kicked back. Ugh. I'm so sick of this rain. Now there's 3. I certainly hope this rain stops soon. Laugh out loud. I'm leaking like a piece of Swiss cheese. Yeah. Yeah, there's people's roofs collapsing here too where I live because of snow. Because it keeps freaking snowing all the time and won't stop. And they closed a couple of the. Yeah, thanks for coming in. I didn't expect too many people to come in on this channel anyway because I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I'm glad you're one of them, Scuttle. Thank you for coming in. And hopefully this rain ends soon and it'll start warming up. Not like hot, but it starts to dry out a lot of this rain that happened, this mold, because there's a lot of mold and stuff growing from this crap. I've seen a lot of moss and stuff growing from all this rain. So everything's so moldy and wet. It's just disgusting. It's just overkill on all this precipitation. It's just way too much. And just too much craziness. Hi 10 TV, thanks for coming in. I figured it was somebody. I figured it was you or it was Katrina that was here. But thank you for coming in. I haven't made a video in a long time. Yeah, he says good night too. Thank you, Scuttle. He's doing a lot better than what he was doing. Just trying to hang in there. This evil, everything that's really evil. It's really depressing and really wrong. I just hope they don't mess up the BANKS because people like me depend on that because we have to pay our bills and stuff. Yeah, 10 explosion. Oh, yeah, she loves explosions, huh? Not the explosions themselves, but the word explosion. Nobody likes explosions, but they happen, right? And all the weird earthquakes. They have one in Pakistan. But there was people putting up fake videos of the devastation in Pakistan. It wasn't as bad as they thought. It left a lot of cracks, I guess, in the foundations of people's houses and stuff. But it didn't crumble buildings, but it did fracture some. So there's people putting misinformation up too for clicks. So it's not cool to do that because it creates fear. And you know what happens when you create fear? It creates panic, and then people act crazy. And the next thing you know, they're inhaling stuff they shouldn't be putting in their body because someone told them to do it. Some guy that looks like a rat fink told them to do it. So that's what happens when people put fake fear out there and say, remember the World of Worlds? It was from like the 50s or something. And people were so scared um, because they didn't have, I think it was before the 50s, the World of Worlds, right? It was when they just had the radio and people listened to radio. That's all they had. And this guy was on there on the radio telling people there's aliens and shit. And they were coming to land and like suck people's brains out or whatever. And there was people that literally were going crazy because they thought the aliens literally landed. And all you got to use is keywords to scare the crap out of people. Isn't it retarded? People are so brainwashed. It's like all you have to do is step outside. You don't see any lights or anything. It's just regular crap. You know what I mean? Like if you lived on a farm, it's like you go outside and you go, all I see is a cow grazing out back. You know what I mean? I don't see anything else. It's like retards. Sorry about my language. But it's just like you see how easily people can be fooled into thinking something is what it isn't. Like you got to find out for yourself. Do some research. You know what I mean? It's just not right. It's just not right. And everybody's saying, "Oh, all of our fuel and everything comes from the dinosaurs." No, they don't. It comes from rotted plant matter, and it doesn't take long to make the oil. If you rake the ground, especially pine needles, and you see the underside of the set of the layers of the rotted material, you notice how the bottom of it's all black because it's starting to turn into oil. It's starting to turn into chunks of oil. So there's that. So don't forget it. But they're going to tell you that everything's a billion years old, and it's not. It's only thousands of years old. That's about it. So, because if it was billions of years old, there'd be so many layers of bones. Like you'd only have to dig like a few inches underground, and you'd find like bones everywhere. Every kind of bone, human bone, chicken bone, and a bone, right? There'd be bones everywhere, just stacked up bones. See, and my kid made a good point a while ago. He said, well, if we came from monkeys, how come there's still monkeys left? So there's that. And I'm not giving out advice. I'm not giving out any monkey advice either. So there's that. So see, even a kid can figure that out. If we came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? See? There wouldn't be any because it evolved from the monkey. They named Lucy. And they said the bones from Lucy were actually mostly chicken bones. And there was only a monkey skull. And then they assembled the rest of it with chicken bone with some glue. And not Elmer's glue because that won't hold the chicken bones together. You got to use like super crazy glue. I'm just making fun of it because it's fun and it's hella funny. So, anyways, I'm going to cut this video off. Thank you for coming in, Tin. And I'll probably see you later on tonight, right? If you upload a video or put some videos up. So, thank you for coming in and thank you for your support in the past, especially during the summer when I was here. And there was a lot of crazy people that were messing with me and messing with my channel. But at least I got them to subscribe to me, but they don't watch anymore, I'll tell you that. Because they don't like my kitchen. It's too hot. So, anyways, thank you for coming in, everybody. I'm going to say thanks for watching, okay? Thanks for watching, and hopefully we have a decent spring. And this whole conflict with Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump gets resolved pretty soon. Because we got to stop at this infighting, because if we don't, we're going to lose all of our rights. If we don't stop fighting each other, and I don't know, it's just stupid. It's counterproductive. We have to come together as a people, just like we did with the crisis here in California with the water and the snow. People are helping each other because they have no choice. If we don't help each other, it's just going to go to hell. And you can't wait for the authorities to come in and clean it up or take care of it. We got to help each other clean it up. Yeah. So I'll see you tonight, Tin. You'll be probably doing another video. And I'll see you later, Scuttle. I'll see you over on Tin's channel, probably, most likely, and everybody else. So, thanks for coming in. Bye.